Welcome, everyone, to a little bit of light for Chanukah. Rabbi Yosef Mendelevich, who presently lives in Israel, was a Soviet refusenik in the 1970s. He landed up in prison for 12 years. He was released in 1981 because his case became a very public case. There was lots of pressure for him to be freed. And what was unique and unusual about Yosef Mendelevich was that it was known that he was an observant Jew while in the Soviet prison. There are many stories of how it was that he made sure and tried his best to be able to fulfill the mitzvahs of the Torah as best as he could in a Soviet prison. He was able to figure out when different holidays came, and Hanukkah was approaching. Be able to light the Hanukkah menorah, do the mitzvah of Hanukkah. The question is, how is he going to do it? Well, to get a match, he had convinced the guard to give him a match. To create a wick, he pulled out some threads from his prison clothing, and he made a wick. But now the question is, oil, fuel for the menorah. A menorah itself, where to light. And as Hanukkah was getting closer, he was becoming more despondent of the fact that he won't be able to do the mitzvah. It was right before Hanukkah, and he came upon an idea. He found a sharp rock, and he carved into the wall of his cell. He was in solitary confinement. He carved into the wall of his cell the image of a menorah. And he took that one wick that he had and he wedged it into the wall where there was a holder for the wick. He then struck his match. He made the bracha over the Chanukah lights, and he lit the wick. And the wick didn't burn long. But for that short amount of time, the cell was lit up. It was lit up with the light of striving to be close to Hashem. And years later, when he recounted this story, a teenage girl asked him why he had continued to perform the mitzvahs amidst all the difficult circumstances that he was in. And his answer, matter-of-factly, was, can you tell a tree not to grow? The innate nature of our neshama, of our soul, is to grow closer and closer in our connection to Hashem, which we do with the mitzvahs of the Torah and everything that we do. And this is something that the Greeks wanted to tear us away from. The Greeks worshipped physicality. They were very into the sciences. They were very into sports. They worshipped physicality, promoting the greatness and beauty of physicality and actually believing in the subservience to physicality. If one takes a look at the Greek gods, they are superhumans that are super flawed. The Greeks understood that the Torah, in our connection to Hashem, did not conform with that absolute subservience to physicality. And at first, they tried to influence us away from the Torah, and they succeeded. Many people did. And then eventually, they forced us to the point of, if one observes a mitzvah, they would be killed. And it was in the Matisyo and the Chashmonoim, which we also refer to as the Maccabees, sacrificed themselves to say that our lives must be lives of connection to Hashem through His Torah, and through the self-sacrifice that they put themselves through to bring back the service to the Jewish people, to bring back the ability to worship in the Beis HaMikdash, the Holy Temple. That came about miraculously because of their self-sacrifice, of their yearning and believing that they must have that connection to Hashem. And the result of that self-sacrifice was the miraculous victory in war and the miracle of the menorah. The miracle of the menorah was a sign to say to the Jewish people and to the world, Hashem is saying, I'm here with you. You've proven yourselves. You have sacrificed yourselves to be connected to me. And I am here now to show you that I am here with you in the fullest degree, a public miracle of 8 nights. And that when you show your loyalty and you work hard to keep that connection will be there. And actually, that connection will always be there. This is what Hashem was telling the Jewish people in the Chanukah story, in that miracle. And that's the message to us for all generations. That as we yearn and strive to be able to be close to Hashem, to connect it to Hashem, to grow through His Torah, and as we said last week, as long as the fire burns in the heart of one family, of one man, that connection will be there. Hashem guarantees it. That was the miracle of the menorah. And Yosef Mendelevich embodied that idea. Can you tell a tree not to grow? A Jew in his essence always is growing in closeness to Hashem, in connection to Hashem. The Greeks try to take that away from us. Because of the self-sacrifice of the Maccabees, we were able to get back to be able to serving Hashem and growing in our service to Hashem. And a miracle of menorah that says, that Hashem tells us that I'm letting you know I'm with you. I will always be with you. And if there's anybody that embodied that, it was Yosef Mendelevich, who lit his menorah in a Soviet prison years ago. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful Shabbos and a very happy Chanukah.